Welcome back to Pound for Pound ATL.
It's Pound for Pound ATL.
What's up, y'all? Hey, you already know what it is. It is Pound for Pound ATL. And of course, I am Toby D. Look, man, before we get started into this video, just briefly, I want to thank everyone who continues to subscribe to the channel, likes it, shares it, comments on it. We ask that you continue to do that, JR and myself. Also, hey, if you haven't hit the notification button after you subscribe, please do so that you can get JR, Clark, and myself's video alerts when all our videos are posted on this channel. Hey, other than that, let's jump right into it, man. Today, I want to talk about the secondary, specifically two guys. Isaiah Oliver, number 26, who was formerly number 20, you know, when he came into the NFL. And, of course, one of my guys who's already really starting to become an Atlanta Falcons favorite for me, because he's such a solid cornerback, is Blidi-Wreh-Wilson. I don't know about you guys, but I think that second spot is wide open. We watched Isaiah Oliver have his growing pains last season, and it was rough. Guys, even in the second half of the season where everyone improved and got better, we went on that 6-2 tear on those last 8 games, he still did not look well. And one of the reasons he didn't look well was he still has not figured out how to use the boundary line as his extra defender consistently. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is show a clip where he does do it right. Against the Jacksonville Jaguars, I think week 16. You look at this clip, he played it very well and was able to make a play on the ball. But ladies and gentlemen, when he got a lot of those throws thrown his way, he has not been consistent in being able to defend those types of passes, those sideline passes. He gives too much room still to the quarterback to be able to throw the ball in there. These guys practice every day. It doesn't matter how good or bad you are. They still practice every day being accurate in practice. And when you allow them to make these type of throws, especially if it's not a Tom Brady or a Drew Brees, then there can be still some major issues going into week 3. I want to show this clip right now in 2018, him as a rookie. The same thing he struggled on in 2019, guys. He struggled on in his 2018 rookie year. And when you have issues being able to correct those mistakes from that year 1 to year 2 of you being in the NFL, ladies and gentlemen, that draws a red, huge concerning flag for me, because you're going to be playing up against guys like Tom Brady twice a year now, and still Drew Brees, who refuses to retire in your division, knowing that you still have issues using the boundary line and giving them room to throw the ball in between that sideline and the corner of that field going down the field. They know you still struggle with that. And you see this video with Josh Dotson, this clip right here. Josh Dotson went off on Isaiah Oliver and that sideline catch, and you see him with the same response, throwing the F-bomb. What she likes to do. I'm going to show you another clip against the Carolina Panthers when we played them for the second time at the Benz. Same type of throw, still struggling to be able to use that boundary line as his extra defender. DJ Moore makes a spectacular catch on him, and here goes the F-bomb once again. Ladies and gentlemen, I think that spot at the second spot in corner, opposite of A.J. Terrell, because we know it's no far-going conclusion that A.J. Terrell is a cut above any talent that we have on this roster at corner right now. I think with him, they got 8 cornerbacks currently on the roster. They normally keep about 5 to 6. And I think Blidi-Wreh-Wilson can push Isaiah Oliver for that second spot. Now, you all may have someone else that may be currently undrafted. Speaking of undrafted, man, I got a link that I'm going to post in my description. Shout out to Younder Sports. They definitely have my attention over there, man. A duel over there, 2 guys, man, talking sports, not just Atlanta Falcons, but they did a great job in my mind covering the undrafted free agents that the Atlanta Falcons have signed. I'm going to put that description link down there where you can get familiar with some of these guys if you hadn't already and see who to be keeping an eye out on. They give you their list of guys, their top 3 to 5 guys they're going to be looking at, and they may be some of the same guys you're going to be looking at too, or want to look at and need to have a little bit more knowledge on them. So check that out. Hit that link in the description below. But I want to talk about Blidi-Wreh-Wilson, man. This guy, when given the opportunity, you can tell that he grew from the times that he's been there under Marquand Manuel to going to being under Raheem Morris, who had not only had to take up calling the plays for the defense, but also become the secondary coach, letting these guys know what he wants out of them. Blidi-Wreh-Wilson has delivered in 2019. Guys, the plays that I've watched for him, my favorite one starting out right now may not be a favorite of you guys, but him defending George Kittle when they went up to the San Francisco 49ers and faced them guys. He did a great job defending George Kittle in the end zone, preventing a touchdown from happening. And this is not the only time that he's done this in the end zone, keeping touchdowns from happening. The Jacksonville Jaguars game, when we played against them, did a great job technique-wise. First of all, backing off a little bit from DJ Chark Jr. and being able to still be in position to close in and make the play. Now, one could say this could have been called as a pass interference, but the refs did not call it. Therefore, it was a successful play for Blidi-Wreh-Wilson. And ladies and gentlemen, this is not the only time he's done this when he's had the opportunity to be able to play in the place of Desmond Trufant. He did it in the Tampa Bay game. I loved how he played against Brashard Perriman, the way he backs off in a zone look. And how do you know sometimes these guys are playing in a zone look? When you can see the corner's butt pointed toward the boundary line, and you can also see him looking into the quarterback to see what the quarterback is going to do. And he knows the quarterback is going to Brashard Perriman and has great technique on the ball. Gets him a little head start and actually allows Brashard to catch him while Brashard is trying to fake him with a stop-go route. He doesn't fall for it, still able to keep up with Brashard. And if it wasn't for Brashard Perriman knocking that ball away, that is a surefire interception for Blidi-Wreh-Wilson. This guy has shown that he can make plays on the football, ladies and gentlemen. And this is what excites me about him as opposed to Isaiah Oliver. You heard Joe Witt Jr. in his interview some months ago say that Blidi-Wreh is a very dependable player, and that he definitely is. And I think he can push for that second spot, because I haven't seen any growth out of Isaiah Oliver that makes me believe that as a second round pick that he is going to hold down that number 2 job across from AJ Terrell. Now, there are some other guys to get excited about that fit the mold of Joe Witt Jr. And one of them I'm sure you are excited about as well as I am, to see what he can do. Dan Quinn already said that he believes that this guy could be a starter at the next level in the NFL. His name is number 20, Kendall Sheffield. The wonderful play that Kendall Sheffield that stands out to me is against the Carolina Panthers in the second game in the Benz, where he made a beautiful play, not being fooled going across the formation, but being able to quickly read and disengage from going across the formation to almost jumping a route and having plenty of green grass in front of him and taking that ball to the house. Now, I believe this pass was meant for DJ Moore, and for him to be able to read that instinctually and make a play on the ball, almost taking it to the house, it really impressed me. And of course, you guys know about the big time hit he laid out, I believe, on Brashard Perriman in that last game of the season against the Tampa Bay Bucks. That was a huge hit, which I'm going to show the clip right now that's popping up so that you can see it and get excited about that as the season goes. My 3 guys right now in the nickel, not the big nickel, but just our regular nickel package that I would be going with if the Falcons are not going to go after another cornerback or be a trade or for a low round pick or signing someone like a Darquez Denard. I'm going with Blidi-Wreh-Wilson, Kendall Sheffield, and of course AJ Terrell to be my top 3 guys. until Isaiah Oliver is able to show me that he is the guy for that second spot, I'm not sure that I'm convinced of that. Now, there is an undrafted free agent that I definitely will be keeping my eye on. His name is Tyler Hall out of Wyoming, the same school that Brian Hill went to, the running back whom I'm excited about, who signed his tender with the Atlanta Falcons. Dude fits the mold of Joe Witt Jr. and what Joe Witt Jr. wants. That ball hawking, route jumping ability. Now, the question will be, is can he translate that from college into the NFL? We've seen Joe Witt do his magic on guys that have been undrafted, like Tremont Williams, who came from the Arizona Cardinals, where he signed on with in 2006, came over to the Green Bay Packers and had a nice career under Joe Witt Jr. And also another guy you guys may know that Joe Witt helped make a star while on the Green Bay Packers, Mr. Sam Shields. So somebody should be excited as an undrafted free agent cornerback that could possibly make this team, because Joe Witt Jr. is going to be able to bring their skills out and help them be the player that they need to be. And Tyler Hall is definitely one undrafted free agent that I'm going to be looking into. Now, somebody mentioned about Josh Hawkins. Dude was kind of a journeyman in the NFL. Was on some different teams, but ended up ultimately being in the XFL before they got cut short because of the COVID-19, I think, for the Dallas Renegade. This guy comes to the Atlanta Falcons. We signed him from the XFL. One of the things that he does probably have a leg up on is because he's already worked with Joe Witt Jr. before in 2016, 2017, before going to other teams like the Eagles and I think the Carolina Panthers and teams like that. It'll be interesting to see what he has learned coming from the XFL, if he has gotten better, because he realizes this could indeed be his last crack at or shot at being on an NFL roster. So if you've been watching them videos of his, man, to see the work he's been putting in, getting ready for the season and things like that, working on his technique, it'll be interesting to see if he can push for one of those 5 or 6 spots on the Atlanta Falcons cornerback room roster. But other than that, man, those are the things that I'm seeing. I just wanted to show you a few clips, man, of these guys and what I'm believing and kind of seeing with Blidi-Wreh-Wilson, a guy that I'm pushing for that could take a spot at being out on the field even more than he was last season. You tell me who you thinking and seeing. If Kendall Sheffield is that guy, or do you believe the Falcons do need to make another move at another cornerback because you don't feel as confident right now, just like I am, a little concerned about what they have in the secondary with Desmond Trufant gone. Other than that, man, it's pound for pound. I'm Toby D. Keep sharing, liking, subscribing, commenting, and all those wonderful things. It's pound for pound ATL. Peace. I'm out.